What's up, YouTubers? I am back with another video, and today I'm talking about my top favorite Godzilla movies that I have. Once again, these are my opinions. I don't know if you're gonna like the video or not, but you know what? Let's just wait and find out. Alright, first one on my list from least is All Monsters Attack. I got nothing to say about this movie. This movie, absolutely, I hate it. I don't know why I bought the movie. I guess because I see all the monsters on the case, so I think that they're gonna fight. But you don't really see it. It's just clips from monsters from other movies. That's what it really is. I don't like the movie. The movie's not really good. I really got nothing to say about this one. This movie's just I got nothing to say. Alright, next one. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. This movie was pretty okay, I would assume. Godzilla is sleeping on an island, and, eventually gets waken up, and he fights Ebra, the sea monster, the giant lobster. And then, yeah, you do see the case. Mothra is in the movie. Mothra is a pretty good character. I thought that this movie was, it was alright. But the movie, I mean, it's probably one of my least favorites of like back and then. But I mean, it's alright. I mean, I got nothing. Alright, next one. Godzilla 1998. Clearly the worst movie ever. I got nothing for this. The thing is, it looks nothing like Godzilla. Godzilla's supposed to stand up like a human. It's standing like a dinosaur. The storyline is that he started off as a dinosaur, and they changed it to that he's a lizard. He doesn't. Well, actually, this one I'm gonna argue with. People say he doesn't breathe atomic breath. I think he does, because when he roars and then you see the fires, his teeth kind of glow. So I would say that I think that would count as an atomic breath. But otherwise, like, I mean, you see right here. I mean, he looks like a dinosaur. I mean, on the other hand, I mean, this movie, I don't really like it, but, I mean, on the other hand as well, I mean, it's pretty okay. I mean, this is the first official US version. Then they did the remake of the 2014 one, which is, I thought that they did better on. But, I mean, on the other hand, this movie was, no. Alright, Godzilla versus Biollante. This movie was pretty good. Godzilla faces a plant version of himself, pretty much. What happened was that in the last movie, The Return of Godzilla 1985, which I don't have, Godzilla, apparently a group of scientists collected some of his cells, and then they experimented on it with a plant, and then that created Biollante. And then she starts off as like a rose, and then Godzilla kills her, and then she comes back later as the new form, which is this one right here. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. This movie was pretty alright. I would have liked it better if we saw a couple more monsters. But, I mean, Biollante is my favorite female monster, so that's why I like this movie. It's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, I mean, the battle's pretty cool. Even though, like, the battle, there's not really much to it, I mean, I guess. But, I mean, whatever. Alright, next up. Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, or apparently his name in the movie is Kyu, but, I mean, I don't know, I go by Kyu for this one, and then for the other one I go by Mechagodzilla, but, I mean, so the storyline is that this Godzilla just terrorized Japan again, then he disappears, and they take the 1954 Godzilla bones, and they put it into this skeleton, which, and then they put the skeleton into the robot, and then they make it, and then the one scene when Godzilla roars, it triggers like a mine, and then like it becomes like a metal version of the 1954 Godzilla. They eventually try to fix it, then they have a rematch, and I mean the battle was pretty cool. The thing I think it makes no sense is that on the back of the case right here, it mentions Mothra. Yeah, right here it mentions Mothra, even though she's not even in the movie. She's mentioned one time. But that was it. But otherwise, she's not even in the movie, so I don't know why they would put her on the case. I mean, it's like she's mentioned, but she's not in the movie, so I don't get why they did that. But I mean, otherwise, this movie was pretty good. I like Kyu. He was cool. I like the Godzilla in this. He looked like a total badass. I thought that was cool. Alright, next up, 2014 Godzilla. This movie was pretty cool. This is my favorite US version because this was obviously better because he actually looks like Godzilla. In this movie, you see Elizabeth Olsen, who is Scarlet Witch from the Avengers. This movie was actually pretty cool. I'll admit that I like the Mutos. I think that they were pretty cool, but they're not my one of my most favorite monsters of all time. But I mean, they're pretty alright. This is actually the first movie named Godzilla, just Godzilla, where he has an enemy. Because you see Godzilla, the Godzilla King of the Monsters, and then you see Godzilla from 1998. He's got no enemies. Now this one, you hear the name Godzilla, you're thinking, okay, so it's just gonna be Godzilla. Then you see him, it's like, whoa, there's another monster in the movie? Cool. And then it's actually, there's two Mutos, so then he's got two monsters, and then that makes it pretty awesome. So yeah, this movie was actually pretty cool. I mean, I wanted to see it. My mom didn't see interest, so I wanted to go with a couple of my friends to see the movie. That was pretty cool. I saw it when I was 14, so I got to go in, because the movie was rated PG-13. So this movie was actually pretty cool. Alright, next up, Godzilla Tokyo SOS. This movie was pretty cool. I like the battle between Godzilla and Kiryu again. Or apparently in this one they call him Mecha G a lot, which I think it's stupid. They go from Kiryu to Mecha Godzilla to Mecha G to what, like, give him a name and stick with that, for crying out loud. I mean, the thing I don't like is that they go from Godzilla fighting the Mothra to then Godzilla fights Kiryu, and it's like you don't see Mothra fight Kiryu, which I think would have made the movie a little bit better, but I mean, they just went with Kiryu versus Godzilla, so I mean, I guess that's their choice, but I mean, the movie was pretty cool. The thing that also makes no sense is that there's this monster called the Kamibus, which I wanted to see him fight, but he doesn't do anything, so, I mean, I guess that's up to them. Alright, next up, Godzilla 2000. This movie was pretty good, but I think some of the scenes in the movie was very crappy. It's probably got one of my least favorite monsters in it, which is Orga. I don't like Orga. He doesn't really do anything in the movie that much, besides when he opens his mouth, tries to absorb Godzilla, but then Godzilla blows him to hell. But otherwise, like, I like the way he looks. The movie was pretty alright. But on the other hand, like, I mean, the movie's pretty alright, but I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I got nothing to say about it. I mean, the movie was pretty alright, but at the same time, it had some kind of stupid scenes in it. But on the other hand, I mean, this movie was pretty alright, I mean, I guess. Alright, next one. Destroy all monsters. Now, I know this doesn't say Godzilla on it, but it has him on it, and it is on the list of Godzilla movies, so I am considering this. This movie is probably one of my favorite Godzilla movies. It is. I like the ending when Godzilla, Gorosaurus, Anguirus, Mothra, Kumanga, and Manila, and all of them team up to fight King Ghidorah, which I think is cool. Yet at the same time makes no sense, because then when you see Godzilla, when you see Ghidorah, the three-headed monster movie, you see Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan kill Ghidorah. So then all they did was that they added Gorosaurus and Anguirus and Manila. So it's like, well, then there's nothing really different. I mean, he's still gonna. I mean, King Ghidorah's still gonna lose. But I mean, on the other hand, the movie is pretty cool. The thing I hate is that Manda's only in one scene. Same thing with Varan and Baragon. They're only in one scene. They don't really do anything. The only monsters that really fight King Ghidorah is Anguirus, Godzilla, and Gorosaurus. They're the only ones that really fight King Ghidorah. Everybody else just stands there and just watch, like, they don't really do anything. But I mean, this movie was pretty cool, so. Alright, next one. Godzilla, or also known as Godzilla King of the Monsters. Now, this movie is pretty cool. I like the movie. This was the very first Godzilla movie that started it all back in 1954. I really liked the movie. The movie was pretty cool. I thought that they did a pretty good job on it. I think the guy who, I forgot his name, but I think the guy who played Godzilla, the Godzilla who was in the suit was cool. Originally, what happened was that the suit weighed like 200 pounds, and it was like so hot. One scene, the guy was Godzilla. He passed out in the suit. So like every 2 minutes, they had to take him out of the suit, get him something to drink, and then they would just have to go again. I mean, that's how they do. But the movie was pretty cool. I also like the U.S. version. I mean, they didn't really change anything that much. I mean, otherwise the movie was pretty cool. All right, next up, Godzilla Raids Again. Now, this movie, I like this a lot. This is probably my favorite black and white Godzilla movie because this is the only other one. I like this because this has my favorite Godzilla enemy in it, which is Anguirus or Angulus. I thought that Anguirus in this movie was pretty cool. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, I just said in the last movie the suit weighed 200 pounds. Well, in this movie, they took the weight off the suit so they can move more and have a longer fight in battle, so make it easier. I mean, this movie was pretty cool. I mean, a lot of people say that Anguirus is not the best character, but I mean, he did pretty good in the movie. So Godzilla bit him on the neck, threw him to the building, and then like bit his neck more than burned him to death. I mean, on the other hand, the movie was pretty cool. And this one, it took place in Osaka. The first one took place in Tokyo, but this movie was pretty cool. All right, number two, this is King Kong versus Godzilla. I like the movie a lot. It's got my two favorite monster icons, Godzilla and King Kong. I like them a lot. I'm always wondering, I wanted to see these two fight. When I found out that this movie existed, I wanted to get it ASAP. I found it, and I unfortunately had no money with me, but my father luckily got it for me. So I got the movie, I watched it. I thought it was pretty good. A lot of rumors say that in the Japanese version, Godzilla wins, but in the US version, Kong wins. I don't really know if that's true or not. A lot of people say it's true. A lot of people say it's absolute bullshit. I don't know if that's true or not, but the battles, I mean, it's cool, but the only thing I don't like is that how King Kong gets power from electricity. I think that kind of ruined it. And this is also the very first Godzilla and King Kong movie where they appear in color, because the first Kong movie was in 1933. Then you see Godzilla, the King of Monsters, and then Godzilla Raids Again, which is all in black and white. Then this one, Godzilla and Kong are together, and they're also in color. So this movie was also pretty cool as well. Alright, now this has 2 discs, but I'm going to point to you the one that I think is number 1. This is the last one, and this is my favorite, Godzilla Final Wars. This movie was absolutely amazing. I like the movie a lot. I think that Godzilla looked absolutely awesome in the movie. I like how he's got all the enemies. He's got Kumanga, Kamakuras, the Praying Mantis, that's his name, Hedorah, Ebra, Anguirus, Rodan, King Caesar. He's also Godzilla. I mean, not Godzilla, Zilla in the movie, which I thought that was pretty cool. But the thing that made me mad was that the battle wasn't long. I mean, he just jumped at him. Godzilla hit him with his tail, burned him, and then that was I'm like, I get that the movie he completely sucked, but like, I wish that they made him have a longer battle. Cause like the U.S. Godzilla versus Japanese Godzilla, that would have been interesting. But I mean, that's how they made the movie. I like the movie. I like Monster X, how he turns into some type of King Ghidorah. I like Gigan in the movie, how he gets the chainsaw hands. I thought that was interesting. Yeah. Um, yeah. So otherwise, on the other hand, I thought that movie was pretty cool. So that's why I put this for number 1. Alright, there are a couple Godzilla movies I want to look for, but I unfortunately can't find. One of them is Son of Godzilla, The Return of Godzilla from 1985, and then Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Those are the ones I can't find in the stores. So if any of you know what stores I should try to look at, try to leave them down in the comments section. Please like the video. I am Mad Norman. The next video I'm going to be making, I'm going to be talking about my top favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movies, because I have them all. And I will see you next time.